Side starts now.
A killer on the loose, eluding capture for 3 decades. It is a story that changed a single family and an entire community. It is a case that has stumped police and the FBI. It is the abduction and the murder of Amy Mihaljevic. Sunday marks 30 years since she vanished from Bay Village.
News 5's Tracy Carlos with the story of new tips, new technology, and new determination from investigators.
It seems like yesterday. It seems like it just happened.
Never would have thought this would go 30 years.
I do remember how it shook Bay Village.
October 27, 1989.
My wife was frantic,
The beginning of heartbreak.
saying, Amy's not home, and she started calling all her friends.
No matter how hard Mark Mihaljevic tries to forget, he can't help but remember.
At least a couple times a week I do think about it, and it's something that you can never stop thinking about. So,
The beginning of a story.
It's never gone. It's always there.
A story that haunts Bay Village police.
We've certainly had enough tips and leads to come in where you've got a database of well over 12,000 names.
Inside the Bay Village Police Department, tucked inside these boxes, are the files surrounding the murder mystery of who killed 10-year-old Amy Mihaljevic. Now, Chief Mark Spetzel was then a young patrol officer when Amy vanished. In a twist of fate, on the day Amy disappeared,
A teacher actually from the middle school pointed out to me that I had talked to the class that day and actually Amy was in the class. I had no idea.
Amy left her bike at school that fall day and walked to this Bay Village shopping center after getting a phone call from a man luring her here with a promise to help her buy a gift for her mom's recent promotion.
This person had a lot of time to groom Amy. We know there was one phone call, probably more.
It was February 8, 1990. A jogger 50 miles away in Ashland County discovered the little girl's body in a field.
It's certainly not behavior that comes out of the blue and then disappears. So I would say that he's done things like this in the past and may have continued to do it after the fact.
FBI Special Agent Lisa Hack grew up in Bay Village. She was away at college when Amy disappeared. She helped hang posters back then. Now she is helping track down a killer. In the 6 years since Hack has focused her attention on this case, she told me more than 100 people have been interviewed.
We have over 70 volumes of cases and files on that. Within that are just thousands of reports and interviews of people that have occurred over the entire 30 years.
There was no DNA technology back then, but there was DNA evidence collected as well as other evidence found in this field that could unlock this murder mystery. Still today, 30 years later, tips are coming in. And there are signs investigators will not give up on this case. This billboard asking the public for help. Investigators hope someone recognizes this homemade curtain made from bedding found near Amy's body. It had the hair of her dog on it.
We don't have like one suspect. We're like, yeah, this is the guy. We just need evidence to prove it. We're not anywhere near that point. But at the same token, we have such a vast amount of information. I think it only going to take a couple pieces of information to tie all that together and actually solve it.
While Amy's family, Bay Village Police, and the FBI are convinced the case can be and will be solved, they all believe it will take information from the public.
It's just going to take just that one person. Because, like I've said before, you don't do something like that and keep it a secret for 30 years without telling somebody else about it.
From the day Amy disappeared, this case has followed Spetzel. It's never far from his thoughts. A poster sits in his office. And now, as the chief nears retirement in the spring, he is fully aware he is leaving behind a big piece of unfinished business.
Hopefully I won't have to leave it behind. I'd love to come back and work it as a part-time, It's that close to me.
For Mark Mihaljevic,
And technology is going to catch up to this case, and it will be solved.
he has his memories, pictures, and mementos pressed between the pages of this book. As time passes, investigators are only more determined to close this case.
As investigators, we have two options, right? We can give up and walk away, or we can continue to investigate. And the investigators that have worked this case over those 30 years are never going to walk away.
And here's another clue. Investigators never found the horsehead earrings, the black studded boots, or the black Buick binder that belonged to Amy. Investigators are convinced that those items could lead to catching her killer. In Bay Village, Tracy Carlos, News 5.
And the story of Amy's abduction and murder has spawned books, TV shows, and podcasts.
One of our producers here at News 5 is also the producer of a popular podcast about the murder mystery. Bill Huffman is the voice behind the Who Killed Amy Mihaljevic podcast. News 5's Tracy Carlos was a guest talking about the case because of her coverage over the years. For Huffman, who grew up just a few miles from Amy and was the same age as Amy when she disappeared, it's personal.
The reason why it still hits home is because this person could be anybody. This person could be your next door neighbor, this person could be your kid's coach, could be anybody.
If anyone has any information that could help close this case, you are asked to call the FBI or Bay Village Police.